Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Denver Broncos and the Dallas Cowboys. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Mason. And the reception made by Dante Moncrief. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
This is Collins on the handoff, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. The numbers for Collins last week, 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run. 2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Come on, let's go.
Off the play fake, Mason. Going deep for Moncrief. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun, Mason. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
This will be taken at the 10. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll set up a throw. And hauled in by Gathers. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on first down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 131 yards.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football. Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Yeah,
moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on there. Heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
He'll look to throw. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
Now, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Let's go! 1-9!
First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And hang on here. Freeman shaken up. Remaining on the ground after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. a play fake here on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle. And frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Let's go. What? 90.
They run with Collins. He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Here we go. What? 90.
Mason. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
You call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit. Detroit.
Sitting alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, as it is Cowboy football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
On play action, they'll throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
A first down carry by Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Desmond King making the tackle.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line. In this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. It's their quarterback. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are in for 6. So a quarterback scramble, certainly a pass play, but he saw something, tucked it, and got in the end zone.
A lot of quarterbacks, when they scramble, they're scrambling to create more time to throw the ball downfield. In this situation, as you noted, he tucked it and took off. Great play by him.
Extra point safely through, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38. Grand 38.
Here's a 1st down run with Collins. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Here we go. Grand 38.
On 2nd down, Collins. And he is met quickly in the...
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. From the gun, Mason. Open man is Uzama. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
They go play action here on 1st down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. Ooh, with a juke. And a great return as he takes this up just shy of the 45.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively, getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. Still shedding tackles. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Point after. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10.
Here we go. What?
Back to the air on 2nd down. Mason. And he comes back with one complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Brand 38.
Throwing on first down. Mason. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. The Broncos in the hurry-up try to get to their positions and get set quickly. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Mason. This one caught by Crowder. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Off the play fake. Mason. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Allen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
And his kick is good. So we have come to halftime here. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
If the post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. The give is to Elliott. A beautiful fake. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle. Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. Hot.
Now back to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. And it's Clinton Dix with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Off play action. Mason. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
The point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
And again, it's Collins. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw. Mason. And this is going to be incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. There have been no struggles here for this crew. I mean, they were up double digits at halftime, and they've just expanded that here in the second half.
And it appears there are no answers from the defensive side. I think right now, if I'm the coordinator, if I'm down on the field, if I'm wearing a hat, I've already thrown it. If it's a visor, it's sailed, right? My game plan is down by my feet right now because nothing I've drawn up appears to be working.
Well, he's going to have to find something right now to stop this offense. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
Lucky 56.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island.
He'll drop to throw. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. The give to Elliott. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch that in. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
He'll look to throw. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Cowboys on third down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So that drive spans 13 plays, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
To throw on second down, Mason. And he will find his man on the outside. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
Red 38! Red 38!
Operating from the gun, Mason. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Red 38!
From the gun, Mason. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 49. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And fresh off the pick 6, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
It all comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there. Right? Now a nice play defensively, and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Throwing again. Mason. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Looking to throw. Mason. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And it's complete. It's Alex Collins. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage. And it's
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Let's go! Brad 38!
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But when I was calling college football, I saw a game that a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent, and in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
A give to the fullback on the dive. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Hut.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they take a knee. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. And they will take a knee here. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cowboys, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Denver, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.